Today I've tested stabilization of Panasonic S5IIX against Sony A7 IV. More details in the actual footage. I'm not commenting on the results. Judge yourself and let me know in the comments what you think. So the footage is uncut. It might be a bit long, but if you're thinking about getting one of these cameras for vlogging, I think it's worth seeing the whole. So I have created such abomination to be able to mirror the same moves on both cameras. So basically compare the same footage from both cameras, the same shakes, the same moves, to be 100% fair. So this is the Sony A7 IV with 20mm f1.8, and this is Panasonic S5IIX with 18mm f1.8. So okay, that might be the ultimate stabilization test. I think that 180-degree shutter might be more forgiving, so I have set up both cameras with ND filter, so there might be some cross pattern, there might be some discoloration, there might be some footage might be overexposed, but we do not check how cinematic it is or how perfectly exposed it is, but we are looking only on the stabilization. So I got my Sony on the left, Panasonic on the right, and I'm moving along the country trail, like this really uneven terrain, and both got the standard stabilization. I'm not sure how I'm framed on Sony because I cannot see the screen, but at least it's recording, and my hand hurts, but I'm switching the hands, and I wonder how the switching looks like, especially on Sony. It's terrible, and it's quite heavy. It's like 3 kilos in my one hand, but I'm strong, so hard to say it is properly exposed. It says more than 2 stops overexposed on Panasonic. Sony claims only 1.7, so it is fine for vlog because I got stronger ND filter on Sony, and yes, well, the footage might be overexposed. There might be cross pattern on Panasonic, most likely, and there would be probably some color cast, but this is not the important thing. The important thing is how the stabilization works. So at the moment both got standard stabilization. My hand hurts, and I'm going to turn active stabilization on Sony now. And the Sony is 20mm and Panasonic is 18, both f1.8. I hope, yes, both f1.8. Okay, so now is active image stabilization on Sony, normal image stabilization on Panasonic, and my hand hurts, but what you do for the science, and hand switch a bit overexposed, but what you can do about it? I thought it would be darker because it's quite late evening, but it's not. So I think there are 8 stops of ND filter on Sony, and here hard to say because there are no stops on Tilta VND, but both still I think both can see my face. Not sure about Sony. Yes, autofocus is engaged. So the question is mostly about autofocus, maybe autofocus too, but mostly about the stabilization, how good it is. This really uneven grass. I'm not walking carefully, I'm just walking casually, maybe slower than usual because I got like 3.5 kilos of cameras in my hand, so I'm looking a bit, but it's kind of normal walking pace. So now I will turn stabilization on Panasonic to see if this is any better. Okay, now both cameras got active stabilization. It's called E-Stabilization on Panasonic, and I wonder if it's any better. Same path, same walking tempo, same terrain. I'm not sure how much of a crop is on Panasonic. Both recording 4K. Sony is recording long. Sony is recording OI. Panasonic unfortunately long GOP because I have only one fast SD card, but still long GOP is okay for vlogging, so we won't cry about it. And I'm sporting my sunglasses, so it's hard to say what's really on the monitor. There is a color cast from sunglasses, the color cast from the ND filters, and I wonder if any of this is acceptable, although it is maybe a bit exaggerated because it's heavy, but I will check this later at home. I hope both are recording. Yes, so the sound might be shitty, but I hope not. So we're gonna see another hand swap, and during the hand swaps it's like terrible in most cases, and I will in a second try to vlog with Panasonic, just grabbing it by the lens to see how good it is, because I know that Sony is bad in that regard, so there is nothing to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to leave Sony in the car and see how good Panasonic is. Maybe I will swap the filter to the stronger one, to the Panasonic. Okay, now it is just a Panasonic only test of the stabilization, and I can see that I'm underexposed now. It's strange. Because sun goes under the cloud, so I'm grabbing the camera under the lens. It's 18mm without E-Stabilization. Really uneven ground. I'm walking kinda slow, switching hands. It's not that easy with that kind of the grip, but I'm going. It is quite wide. My hand is almost extended, but like bent in the elbow by 45mm, by 45 degrees, something like that. And I got some random mic. The birds are chirping. The grass is giving a strange noise. Yeah, I can feel it in my shoulder. That's why I have to switch. Okay, that was strange. It stopped recording. I don't know if the SSD card is too slow. It's not full because there are 3 more hours left. The battery would end sooner, but I just wonder how good the stabilization is. So I'm switching hands. Now I'm keeping more by the body of the camera, but that was weird that it stopped recording. I probably pressed something on the back, I don't know. That was kinda weird. Anyway, we are checking the stabilization here. I got 6 stops of ND filter now. I'm properly exposed in theory because it's vlog, so it should be overexposed, but the moment is like less than 1 stop overexposed. I can see zebras on the sky and my shoulder hurts. That's why I have to switch it. Now I will switch to active image stabilization. Oh yeah, and I'm looking at this screen here, which is stupid because I should look into the lens, and that's why I prefer the cameras with the screen on top, like Sony A6600 and Sony 6400. Okay, now active stabilization, called something stabilization, I know, E-Stabilization or whatever, is turned on, I'm not sure how much cropped it is. My arm is a little bit more extended, and I wonder if it's better. My hand is kind of shaky with this grip, so maybe I should grab it by the lens and look into the lens. Yeah, I'm controlling on the monitor, so this is weird with these cameras. Maybe if I wear glasses, yes, then they won't see I'm looking away, but we are just testing the stabilization, and I can see that my hand shakes a lot. If I tug it near my body, it would be maybe a better. No, it's not better, because my elbow is not dumping the shakes anymore, so shakes of my steps are transferred to the camera. So I think that like 45 degrees elbow is the best, but my shoulder hurts, so I'm swapping the hand. Yeah, I wasn't in the frame for the moment during the swap. Yeah, maybe the idea with the tripod below is not bad. Maybe I'll check this in a second. And my ND filter is too strong now because the sun went under the cloud. Yeah, so I think I'm going to check it with the selfie stick or this stupid jobby tripod. Okay, now I got camera on the jobby, so I can extend it a bit more, maybe, I don't know. Different than the filter, and of course the sun went up. Yeah, but it seems that it is more stable, although that it's with this stabilization or however it's called. So the active one on Panasonic. But I closed the car. Let me check. I think so. It's closed, I hope. Anyway, that's with the jobby, and I'm not walking carefully. I'm kind of fast now, and turning to this same trail, and my battery got two bars. Okay, so now I'm walking on the same surface. Stabilization, Panasonic, still 180 degrees shutter angle, which I think is more forgiving for vlogging than the shorter shutter speed, because then if you record with the shorter shutter speed, every move, every shake is recorded for shorter amount of time, but between the frames there is more time, so there is more move, and here is blurred. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, so I think maybe I kinda don't believe this jobby it would hold, but hope it will. Now with this filter is overexposed and there might be a cross pattern, hard to say. I wonder what was that. Did it stop recording? There is some animal, I think, in the grass. Probably a rabbit. I hope it's rabbit without rabies. And hand switch. Yeah, it's kinda bearable, but I doubt I will be able to record for more than 5 or 10 minutes. It's our setup, it's more than 1 kilo, probably 1.3 with the Panasonic, the lens, then the filter, the small mic, and the ugly jobby. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn off the stabilization, and we're going to see how normal stabilization look like that. There was I tripped, so there should be a big shake in the footage. We're gonna see this later. Okay, turning off the stabilization. Okay, stabilization turned off. Still overexposed. If I turn, that shouldn't be. Yeah, because but the sun is under the clouds, so I don't know what's the deal. Hard to say how many stops of ND filter I got now, but it's between 2 and 7 or 8, or however this tilta VNDs. And yeah, my shoulder starts to hurt a bit, so another swap. I've been exercising a bit today, so like 25 pull-ups and 20 dips and shit like that, so maybe it's sore because of that. And now I see some pain in the lats, so probably I'm too old to vlog, but we are checking the stabilization. It's just for the science. So yeah, and now it's Panasonic 18mm f1.8, of course S5IIX, and I wonder how good the stabilization is. I bet it's better than Sony, but I will see later. If you can accept this for vlogging, actually that would be nice, because it's a full frame, so you got a full frame glory with V-Lock. We'll see. The shame is that I think there is no digital mic for the Panasonic, but I'm not sure. I'll check it later. Maybe it's a good idea to have one. This is the stabilization test, or this was the stabilization test. Cheers, mate.